Hello, good day, miss. I hope this one goes well because this is my 10th time doing this because I'm running out of time. Okay, so my topic is ANOVA. A brief description of ANOVA from Thompson is that ANOVA, which is also known as analysis of variance, is a statistical analysis for evaluating the equality of means on a single, at least intervally scaled outcome variable across two or more groups. Field also said that the technique is a way of comparing the ratio of systematic variance to unsystematic variance in an experimental study. He goes on to add that this is known as the F ratio. Field also said that one distinct advantage of ANOVA with a t-test in that pairwise comparison control family-wise error by correcting the level of significance of each test in such a way that a type 1 error rate across all comparisons remain at 0.05, which we know is ideal. Right, so the article that I selected is Employee Perception of Well-Being and Organizational Wellness Offerings. Now, it was penned by Susan Gordon and Howard Adler. The overview of this, so it was published in 2017. So what this article is basically about is that it focuses on the line level employee perceptions of their own well-being and their awareness of wellness benefits offered by their organizations. So they would have targeted service hotels in the Midwest, and they would have collected the data. And to test their hypotheses, the authors would use both independent samples, t-tests, and ANOVA. But for the purpose of this report that I did, emphasis will be placed on the application of ANOVA in the analysis of data. So we are going to look at assessing the research article using here six-stage model. So as you see on the screen there, I have the 6 stages up, and I will just say if they used it, to what extent, and so on. So stage 1, which is defining the research problem objectives and multivariate technique use, they did do that. They did follow this guideline, as they made it clear from the beginning that the purpose was to ascertain line-level employee perceptions of their well-being and to understand their awareness of benefits offered by the organizations. So the reader was made aware of this research problem, that it was twofold. Firstly, the researchers wanted to establish employee perception of their well-being, and secondly, they wanted to find out their level of awareness of benefits that were offered by the organization that they currently worked for. And they also outlined their 3 research objectives, which was to determine employee perception of specific positive and negative indicators of well-being. 2, to analyze whether perceived employee well-being is different based on certain demographic characteristics. And 3, to examine organizational factors which may impact employees' well-being. So I'll just move on to the second stage for the essence of time, the development of the analysis plan. The researchers did follow this guideline. They did state that the research was empirical in nature, and that they did a survey to collect the data that they selected. They also outlined that they selected 25 service hotels in the Midwest area. However, only 19 participated. And they also stated how many employees were eligible to partake in the study. Stage 3, this was followed to an extent. The researchers did specify that the SPSS version 21 was used to perform data analysis. They also did highlight like the use of histograms and kurtosis and skewness. For stage 4, before I go into stage 4, there was I should mention additionally in stage 3, researchers did not state whether they tested the assumption of homogeneity of variance, even though they specified that both t-test and ANOVA were used for the study. In stage 4, the researchers did not report any statistics to indicate the model had a good fit. So the stage 4, which is estimated multivariate model and assessed overall, they did not report that really. However, it must be noted that a significant F ratio does indicate a good model fit, as it points to the model accounting for more systematic variation than unsystematic variation. Stage 5, to interpret the variate, the researchers did follow this guideline. To estimate the differences in means, the F ratio was used, as well as p-values. So they did follow that. For stage 6, to validate the multivariate model, There was no mention of any validation techniques done to ensure generalizability beyond the reporting of statistical significance. As such, there was no way of telling whether these results can be extended to explaining such effects to the wider population. So the recommendation that I would put forward for the researchers with this paper to improve is that the study can benefit from EFA to aid the researchers to better understand the factor structure of the scale. I can also recommend that CFA be used after EFA to establish both these dimensions to have a good model fit. Also, in addition, the sample size could have been larger because they only focus on the Midwest area, and that is like really narrowing the results to be generalized, so they could widen other geographical areas. The research can also benefit from the use of other variant components such as multi-level modeling, and lastly, validation techniques should be used. This would ensure that the results are generalizable to the wider population. Perhaps the researchers can use regression modeling where it's easier to validate. And that is the end. Thank you very much, Miss